Well, guys, we've reached the end of an era in one of the biggest Bel Air real estate stories of last year. Mohammed Hadid's infamous mega mansion has officially sold at auction, with the new owner holding the burden of demolishing the old house and rebuilding something new. The home sold for the small price of $5 million. And I say small because those of you who have been following this story know that Mohammed Hadid had way more than that into this project. And of course, naturally, all of the neighbors are thrilled about this sale because this means that the sketchy home at 901 Strada Vescia will finally be taken down with a new and hopefully safer home built in its place. In today's video, we are going to do a quick refresher on the backstory for anybody who hasn't been following along. Next, we'll get into the details of this sale and who the brave buyer was of this home. And last, we'll talk about the financial picture of this site and what this new developer stands to make after they build out this trophy lot in Bel Air. If you're new around here, my name is Scott. I'm a real estate developer myself out of Arizona. I'm always drawn to stories like this because I'm doing projects just like this out here in AZ, but on a much smaller scale. So it's fascinating to see what's going on out there in Bel Air, which is one of the most luxurious markets on the planet. If you're into real estate videos like this and you want to see more in the future, click subscribe down below. I'm putting new videos out every week. I did a full video on the backstory of this project, so we're not going to get too into the weeds on all of that today. But if this is your first time hearing about this project, here's what's going on. There's this luxury real estate developer named Mohammed Hadid out in Bel Air, California, who has been building luxury real estate for about 40 years now. He is most known for building luxury hotels and mega mansions, but he's also in the spotlight a lot because his daughters Gigi Hadid and Bella Hadid are super famous models who have massive followings online. Anyways, Mohammed Hadid took on what was probably his most ambitious project yet back in 2011 when he bought a premium 1.2 acre lot in Bel Air, California at 901 Strada Vescia Road, and then went on to build a 30,000 square foot mega mansion on the lot. Well, it turns out that Hadid was actually never approved by the city to build a house that big, and by 2017 he had both the city and the neighbors after him saying that the house was too big for the lot, it wasn't built properly, and that it needed to be torn down. Hadid responded to this order saying that he was too broke to tear down the house, which is a little weird, by the way, because him and his family have a combined estimated net worth of around $100 million. With Hadid unable to tear down the house and defaulting on his loans, he ultimately ended up losing this house to foreclosure, which leads us to today's video because this infamous house has finally gone to auction and it has finally found a new buyer. The sale of 901 Strada Vescia Road was complicated to say the least. The Zillow history shows us a pretty good snapshot of the timeline, which spanned basically all of 2021, starting on January 7th when this home was listed for $8.5 million. It went into a pending status pretty quick about a month after listing for sale, and this made headlines at the time because it was a pretty big deal that he found a buyer for this troubled property so quickly. Well, you can see here that the home was relisted for sale for $8.5 million again in July of 2021, and that is because the buyer walked away from the last deal because it was just too big of a project for him. The listing was temporarily removed in August of 2021 due to legal proceedings associated with this house. In December 23rd, 2021, 901 Strada Vescia Road officially sold for $5 million even. The last bit of marketing that I could find on this place was from a company called Forbes Global Properties when they were marketing this place for sale for $5.5 million. In the description of their listing, they say that Premier Estates WorldBid Auctions conducted the sale on behalf of the state court receiver and brokerage Hilton and Highland. They go on to say that the structure will be demolished by the state court receiver following the close of escrow at no additional cost to the buyer. This is what alleviated some of the concerns for anybody who was interested in potentially buying Strada Vescia. See, as a developer out here in Arizona, I know that if I buy a house that needs to be taken down, it's going to cost me about $20,000 for demo to make room for a new house. Well, if you're looking at a hillside property in Bel Air, California, one that was known to have had construction issues, you're looking at a minimum of a $1 million expense to take that house down safely. Estimates that I read from court documents said that due to the unique circumstances surrounding this site, demolition alone would cost as much as $5 million. The buyer of this home is a company called Sahara Construction Company, and part of the terms of the sale is that they need to pay to tear down Strada Vescia within the next 9 months. Now, the brokers in the course were advertising this house for sale for $8.5 million, and at that price, that actually included demolition. My guess is that Sahara Construction wanted to handle the demo on their own for 2 reasons. First, Sahara Construction is a developer, so they can probably take this place down for a much better price than the city would be able to. And second, they can probably take this place down a lot faster than the city would be able to as well. Anyways, I did some digging on this buyer, and they have almost no online presence at all, which is kind of interesting. Their Instagram has only around 100 followers, and they haven't posted on there in months, but their website gives us a little bit more information about the company. They say that they are a self-performing general contractor and a heavy civil contractor, and they go on to say that they provide services with sub-selection, a self-performing management approach, design building, and job-specific safety programs. Clicking over to the gallery section of their page, it's clear that even though these guys don't brag all over social media about their work, they have done some serious projects, both residential and commercial, so they seem well equipped to take on Strada Vescia. I called Sahara Construction the other day just to see if I could get any comments out of them before I made this video. The lady at the front desk was pretty tight-lipped about the whole thing. She said she would have somebody call me back, but I haven't heard from anybody yet. The financial picture for this developer looks really good from my perspective, and we need to talk about why. See, Mohammed Hadid was actually onto something with this project because, believe it or not, there really is a big demand for these massive 30,000 square foot homes in Bel Air, Beverly Hills, and Brentwood. The unfortunate part is that he cut a bunch of corners, allegedly, and that basically financially ruined this project for him after he learned that he needed to tear it down. For the sake of the example today, let's run some numbers assuming that Sahara Construction is going to do exactly what Mohammed Hadid was going to do with this lot, but they just do it the right way. We know that they're into this project for $5 million so far, and that's just for the cost of the lot. My guess is that they'll have about $3 million into just demo and lot prep. If it was going to be any more than that, they probably would have just had the city handle it like we talked about earlier. The next step in a project like this one is they need an architect and a team of engineers to design a house that's a good fit for this lot, and a home that is designed properly from a civil, structural, and mechanical standpoint. The range of these fees can vary a lot depending on who you hire, but I'm going to guess that they'll have about $1 million into architectural and engineering fees. With a completed set of plans, the dream scenario is that they'll submit to the city and then have permits in their hand and be ready to start building within about 6 to 9 months. A 30,000 square foot house is going to cost these guys probably about $750 per square foot to build, although again, this is going to vary a lot depending on the general contractor and the subcontractors that they hire. At $750 per square foot, that means that these guys will be spending about $22,500,000 just to build this house. Holding costs on a project like this are going to be high even if they don't take out a loan just for the taxes and the insurance and the utilities, but it's highly likely that there will be debt on a deal like this. This project is going to take around 3 years from start to finish, so my estimate for the taxes, the insurance, the utilities, and the loan interest is that they'll have about $5 million into holding costs. So far, we're up to a whopping $36,500,000 to pull this thing off in total. That sounds like a lot, and it's definitely intimidating for a developer to have this much money wound up into just one project, but this is where things get interesting. See, it is not unrealistic for these guys to get about $2,000 per square foot when they go to sell this place once it's finished. First of all, this is a super premium lot in a super premium neighborhood, and the Bel Air real estate market has been appreciating like crazy over the past year. At $2,000 per square foot, the final sale price for this 30,000 square foot property would be $60 million. At that point, there's going to be about $4 million worth of commissions and closing costs for them to pay when they sell, so they'll walk with about $56 million. Subtract the $36,500,000 that these guys put into the deal, and that means that they're going to walk away with $19,500,000 in profit after just 3 years worth of work. Developing luxury real estate is definitely a high-risk, high-reward business, but it's numbers like this that has companies like Sahara Construction willing to take the risk and give it their best shot. Who knows what the outcome will be for this prestigious lot in Bel Air, but regardless of how it ends up being developed going forward, I'm really relieved for Hadid to have gotten himself out of this situation finally, and I'm even more relieved relief for the neighbors to finally have some closure and know that this house that's been literally hanging over their heads will be finally torn down. I imagine that this story will continue to be pretty highly publicized since there's a lot of people watching now. So you guys know that I'll be following up on this project as new plans get submitted to the city and then the new house starts being built. If you enjoyed the video today, guys, if you could give me a thumbs up down below, that really helps my videos out a lot. And remember to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, because I'm putting new videos out every week. But that's all I've got for you guys this episode. Until next time, see ya.